Hey there, what is going on? Welcome on back to the Deeper Dive. It is your host, Luke, and today we're going to talk all about VELO. Now, I know recently, in the last few days, the price has been down, and many people in the community have been very worried and feeling like this is not normal. What I would like to say is that dips do happen, and we are in crypto, we are in a very volatile space, and specifically VELO is a much lower market cap compared to many other utility tokens. So for big movement in price, it doesn't take as much influence in terms of capital inside the market. So while this dip may seem really big and really sudden, I would like to keep everyone reminded that we are in a much bigger space here, and VELO only has roughly a $200 million market cap. So for it to get pushed to even a billion, it really doesn't take that much. And we've all seen coins, specifically utility coins, for example, XRP, take off and absorb billions of dollars in just a month. So really know where we are at. And those of you who have been following the channel know that VELO has an insane background and is very well tied to some of the biggest players in the game. Getting right into things, I made this post yesterday and I thought it would be helpful to bring it to you guys on the YouTube. Make sure to check out my Twitter if you haven't already, at LukeTDD. I started off saying, so we know that VELO and Lightnet have ties to True Money. Now, if you don't know, CP Group are the main backers of VELO and Lightnet, and CP Group owns True Money alongside Alibaba and MUFG Bank, which is Japan's largest bank. Now, remember the virtual license in Thailand that Lightnet and WeLab applied for in a consortium. Check this out. Alibaba is an investor in WeLab. And they say Alibaba's interest in WeLab isn't surprising because of its focus on using technology to disrupt the traditional banking industry in China through Ant Financial, its financial services arm, and online payment system Alipay. And we can see that financial tech startup WeLab raises $220 million from investors including Alibaba, the IFC, and Credit Suisse. So we know that the ties run deep between VELO, Lightnet, and Alibaba, which is just another bullish factor, especially when you take a larger look at what VELO is trying to accomplish. Eventually these things will need to all be plugged in together. So regardless of if Alibaba used VELO Labs technology, eventually the goal is for everything to be interoperable, which is something that many people look over. But we do know that VELO and Lightnet specifically want to be interoperable and play that factor regardless of if their tech is being the one directly used. At the end of the day, they prefer to be connected than not connected. So just keep that in mind. And yet again, just another extremely bullish reason that VELO is lined up to be heavily connected and do really well in the future. Now, with VELO being down roughly 30 to 40% in the last 3 to 4 days, I wanted to share these charts. And right here we can see ADA, Cardano, which was down 48% in roughly May to September of 2020 before it went on and had an absolutely massive run. The same thing with Matic, it was down 40% before it went on to have this crazy run to $2 plus from 2 cents. So do those prices sound familiar? Yes, they do, because we are currently in the 2-cent range with VELO as I'm speaking. So yes, it is possible that this is one of the final dips before we really do take off, and that's personally what I think is happening here. So be very careful about selling and trying to buy back. This is not financial advice, nor should you make financial decisions based off of my video, but I do believe that this pullback will not last super long, and I do think that once this pullback is over, we will really see these coins, specifically VELO and SHX and other utility coins, really do well. And if you're newer to this space, you haven't been in crypto as long, while this is a lot of downside, we have to take a look at the other side of things. During a bull run, a coin can literally do 500% gains, so 5x, in a week's time. So yes, this may be a big pullback, but we may come back in a week or two and absolutely boom. So just keep that on your mind, that patience will likely pay in this situation. And as I say here, there is so many bullish events on the horizon. Just to give you one example, when Trump steps into office tomorrow, on the 21st, he could come out and make some extremely bullish statements about cryptocurrency. And we've already seen him before inauguration talking lots about crypto. So I wouldn't be surprised if once he steps into office, things really do change and he's out there talking about it lots, trying to make a true difference. And as I say, they have to try to shake you out before all of these bullish events. This is how the game goes, and it happens time and time again. Just like when Bitcoin made its local bottom at 16 to 17K, FTX, a huge liquidity event, happened just that week. It made the local bottom. The news that FTX crashed was the low. So just keep that in mind. The worst news comes and it seems like it's over, but guess what? A week later, we'll be bouncing back and doing well, and all of the people who sold will be buying back higher. This is how they create liquidity, and it happens time and time again, shaking out retail investors. Be smart. We are playing in a game where institutional investors have a large hold on the market. So just keep that in mind while we're moving forward. And as Josh J100X on X says, while people are freaking out about the correction on VELO and lettuce hands panic selling, Binance is still stacking in this wallet. In fact, just yesterday, they added 23 million VELO tokens to their portfolio, and they are now sitting at 392 million VELO. And like he said, people are screaming this isn't a normal dip. While it doesn't feel normal to many people, this is absolutely normal in crypto, and you cannot expect to be invested in a space where you can earn 100 times your money in 1 year, but not expect to have a strong dip. If you want the big returns, you have to be willing to take on the risk of going through the dips. And if you've been here with me for a long time, then you know we were talking about VELO at much cheaper prices, and I was buying it then. So if you think that I'm worried about it when we're still at higher prices than when I was buying, you're wrong. I'm not worried about it because this is normal. And I hope many of you guys can understand this and spread this message because yes, we are in a volatile space. And like I said, VELO is a low market cap. We have to remain adaptive to the fact that things do not go exactly how we expect. A big dip catching people off guard would absolutely make people sell. And then guess what? Institutions and big money will buy that right up, just like how we saw Binance doing. And for those of you who are curious, how can I track this Binance wallet myself? I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how you can do that. You can head over here to Stellar Expert, and if you just search stellar.expert and click enter, it'll come up with this site. Now you'll see these assets on the ledger. You scroll down, you can click explore all Stellar assets. Now VELO is no longer on the first list, so you need to go to the next page, and then VELO is just right down here as the fourth token. Now once you click on VELO, you can go and scroll down to asset holders. Once you're on asset holders, look for the first one to start with Binance, and there it is. And then once you're on the Binance page, you can see their VELO holding of 392 million VELO. You can click that VELO, and then you can see their chart for their position on VELO. And if we look at the last 1 month, we can see on the 18th, they bought 20 million VELO, just over 20 million VELO. So this is a very bullish factor for VELO. And I do think that it is interesting to see that we have not seen a listing on global Binance, but I do think it is on the horizon, especially after the price begins to pick up. On another note, this is the number of supply and accounts, and we can see how the accounts have just been growing over time. Specifically on Stellar, there's over 16,300 asset holders, and we know that this is not including anyone holding VELO on Binance chain. So there's lots of bullish stuff going on. And yes, while price may be down, you need to put your head down and keep persevering. We are going to make it. We know what we hold. I've spoke so much about VELO. I know so much about it. And I know that they are very well positioned to do extremely well in the next few years. So there's not a single bone in my body that is worried. If you would like to buy VELO, you can check out Caleb and Brown. The link is in the description. I personally use Caleb and Brown to transact VELO, buying and selling, and I do think that they are trustworthy. They've never had any downtime. As well, if you would like to get cold storage, check out the link to Decent Wallet in my description. That is the cold storage that I personally use, and it is very good for storing VELO. I hope you all are doing okay, especially during this time where it feels like there is uncertainty. Just keep in mind, there's not. Price up or down, the facts are the facts. We know what we hold. I hope you guys have a great day. Smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any thoughts about anything that I spoke about. If you have anything to say about Matic or ADA and how they had these huge dips, let me know if you think this is a possible scenario for VELO. Don't freak out because big money knows what they are doing. That is what they want you to do. Like I said, I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.